Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudire Nastapráyeshu Padreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttamaśloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistaki Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramanandamalam Chaitanya Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militamena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namaste Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Jaya Pataka Samiti Namani Namacharya Padanitaya Kripapadani Gaura Kata Damataya Nagara Kramataya. Hare Krishna devotees, welcome for Bhagavatam study. We'll continue reading Bhagavatam. Reading Canto 2, Chapter 7, Text 49, right?
48, Prabhuji.
48, Prabhuji.
I am allocated.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Yes, Prabhuji.
Shall I start, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 7, Text 48. Sadryak Niyamya Yataya Yama Karta Hetim Jayu Swarat Iva Nipana Kanitram Indraha. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada ke Jai. In such a transcendental state, there is no need of artificial control of the mind, mental speculation, or meditation as performed by the jnanis or yogis. One gives up such processes as the heavenly king Indra forgoes the trouble to dig a well. Purport: a poor man in want of rain, in want of water, digs a well and undertakes the trouble of digging. Similarly, those who are poor in transcendental realization speculate on the mind or meditate by controlling the senses. But they do not know that such control of the senses and achievement of spiritual perfection are simultaneously made possible as soon as one is factually engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Supreme Person, the personality of Godhead. It is for this reason that the great liberated souls also desire to be associated in hearing and chanting the activities of the Lord. The example of Indra is very appropriate in this connection. King Indra of heaven is the controlling deity or demigod for arranging the clouds and supplying rains in the universe. And as such, he does not have to take the trouble to dig a well for his personal water supply. For him, digging a well for a water supply is simply ludicrous. Similarly, those who are factually engaged in the loving service of the Lord have attained the ultimate goal of life, and for them there is no need of mental speculation to find out the true nature of God or his activities. Nor do such devotees have to meditate upon the imaginary or real identity of the Lord, because they are factually engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. The Lord's pure devotees have already achieved the results of mental speculation and meditation. The real perfection of life is therefore to be engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Krishna, Srila
Srila
Prabhupada
Prabhupada
ki.
Jai.
Jai. So, Brahmaji further saying here, in such a transcendental state, we'll see what is that. We just read last Thursday. So, the previous verse, we could see that. So, what is realized as absolute Brahman is full of unlimited bliss without grief. That certainly is the ultimate phase of a supreme enjoyer, the personally Godhead. He is eternally void of all disturbance and fearlessness. He is complete in consciousness. One second. He is complete in consciousness as opposed to matter, uncontaminated and without distinction. He is the principal primeval cause of all causes and effect, in whom there is no sacrifice of fruitive activities, in whom the illusion energy does not stand. So, in such circumstances, Brahmaji is saying here that such state, there is no need for artificial control of mind and mental speculation meditation. Now, why Brahmaji is saying artificial control of mind is that because we cannot control a mind artificially. Mind is always flickering. That's why Prabhupada always say that engage a mind. You have to give service to the mind. Mind has to be active. Artificially, we can meditate on shunya for some time, but how long? It will come back. It will not stay there. That's why the Brahmaji also saying, as performed by the jnanis and yogis, jnanis, yogis, they have a limited. We have Prabhupada always gives example of Vishwamitra and Haridas Thakur. Vishwamitra was a great, sage. He was meditating, but what happened when the Menaka's ankle bell came? And similarly, Haridas Thakur, he was not a kind of a great jnani or a great rishi. He was an ordinary devotee, surrendered to the holy name. But for him, Maya Devi could not touch. That's why the Prabhupada always said, Bhakti Yogi is topmost. That's why here Brahmaji says, one gives up such processes as the heavenly king Indra forgoes the trouble of digging well. A nice analogy is given. Indra is control of rain, control of clouds. Is there need for him to dig a well to get a bucket of water? Because he is the control of everything. Similarly, when we take up Krishna consciousness and that to pure devotional service, everything comes along with that. I don't have to separately ask for meditation or so many other byproducts, which anyway is coming. So that is a point here. For when become a pure devotee, everything comes naturally. That's why Prabhupada is saying a poor man in want of water digs a well and undertakes troublesome digging water. But for Indra, such things not required. Similarly, Prabhupada here saying that, but they do not know that such control of the senses and achievement of the spiritual perfection are simultaneously made possible as soon as one factually engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Supreme Personality Godhead. So that is the point. Now, what I am trying to do? I am trying to think, yes, I have a strength, I have intelligence, I will do so many things so that I can achieve. No. That's why Prabhupada is saying it's not possible. Whereas if you take devotional service, all this come as a byproduct. You don't have to separately work. This is the biggest, I can say, very surprising fact, which, we are not able to understand. If I clearly understand, Krishna can solve all my problem. I need not run behind anyone else. That is the point I need to understand. But what's happening? Instead of that, I run behind my company boss, my client, and thinking that they will give money, they will give some power. Nothing would happen. Even if they give, will be very, very temporary. This is where I should understand the difference between, my dependence on material things and my dependence on Krishna. How much I depend on Krishna, accordingly he'll reciprocate. Ye yata prapadyante tam satatayo bhajam. Accordingly he'll reciprocate. If I think that my strength, my bank balance, my supporters will save me, yes, Krishna will say, okay, do it. But if I give up everything, here, like said that jnani is karmi is nothing, everything is Krishna, everything taken care. I don't have to take extra trouble of like Indra digging well, it's not required. So Prabhupada says, similarly, those who are factually engaged in loving service of the Lord have attained ultimate goal of life. For them, there's no need for mental speculation. So that is ultimate. Going back home, back to Godhead is ultimate. That is what Prabhupada is giving us, which and very easily giving, and looks very cheap. Chanting Hare Krishna mantra and taking up Krishna consciousness can give us that ultimate goal. That's where Prabhupada made it so simple. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made it so simple. And proper disciples now making still simpler, going, village to village, street to street, chant Hare Krishna. That's it. So we need to simply take up that. Finally, Prabhupada here is saying that the real perfection of life is therefore to be engaged in transcendental loving service of the Lord. That's it. Loving transcendental service. See the three words. So loving transcendental service. So it should be out of love, without any contaminant of my sense gratification, my desire. 100%. Transcendental, beyond three modes, not even mode of goodness, beyond that. And service. Today also in the afternoon, evening, Bhagavad Gita class we were discussing. Service is the only thing can, allow us to progress. Sometime I think that, yeah, I chanted 34 rounds or 64 rounds. I read whole Bhagavatam. Yes, good. But if that is not result in service, it may not give you the 100% result. Because by chanting also, we are requesting, Hey Radhe, please engage me in the service of Krishna. And we are chanting. And service comes, sorry, I don't have time. So what is the point? This is where Prabhupada is insisting that we should engage in service. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says we should be a lavulya. Lavulya means deep desire to grab the service. Of course, we should not grab, disturb others. But any given opportunity, I should come front. Yes, I will do it. That is the mood I should develop. That's exactly the difference between Srila Prabhupada and many of the Prabhupada's god brothers. Today I was hearing one of his god brother. He was telling later when Prabhupada, after establishing ISKCON, came back. But this god brother had told even then, before Prabhupada going to America. One day so happened that I think in Prabhupada sannyas taken, three other devotees also together they took sannyas. So the sannyas ceremony was going on. The priest or whoever, they're chanting some mantra. And there was a devotee singing Hare Krishna mantra. So one of the other sannyasi told the person chanting Hare Krishna mantra, stop, so that the priest chanting mantra can hear. But Prabhupada said, no, you continue chanting. Continue chanting Hare Krishna mantra. So that's the time this sannyasi god brother says, yes, he will do what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to do it, because he has full faith in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's holy name. So similarly, we need to have full faith in holy name. Just spread the holy name, as many people as possible. Do Nagara Sankirtan. And just not chanting. We are not Bhajan Nandis. We are Ghost Nandis. That's the difference, right? Bhajan Nandi is that, yes, I will do my japa. But Ghost Nandi is like that. We go out, chant loudly, make everybody chant, distribute books, distribute prasadam. This is what required. That's what will make us to closer to Krishna. Okay, we'll read next verse 49. Who is going to read 49?
Prabhuji, it's me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Tashreya Samapi Vibhud Bhagavan Yetoshya Bhava Swabhava Vihita Tata Prasiddhi Dehe Swadhatu Vigame Anuvishriyamane Vyameva Tatra Purusho Na Vishrayate Aja. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation: the personality of Godhead is the supreme master of everything, auspicious because the results of whatever actions are performed by the living being in either the material or spiritual existence are awarded by the Lord. As such, He is the ultimate benefactor. Every individual living entity is unborn, and therefore, even after the annihilation of the material elementary body, the living entity exists exactly like the air within the body. Purport: the living entity is unborn and eternal, and as confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 2.30, the living entity is not exhausted even though the material elementary body is vanquished. As long as the living entity is in the material existence, actions performed by him are rewarded in the next life or even in the present life. Similarly, in the spiritual life also, actions are rewarded by the Lord by the 5 kinds of liberation. And even the impersonalists cannot achieve the desired merging into the existence of the Supreme without being favored by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 4.11 that the Lord always, a Lord awards similar results as one desires in one's present life. The living entities are given freedom to make their choice, and the Lord awards them accordingly. It is duty of everyone, therefore, to worship devoutly only the personality of Godhead to achieve his desired goal. The impersonalist, instead of speculating or meditating, can directly execute the routine devotional service of the Lord and thus easily obtain the desired goal. The devotees, however, are naturally inclined to become associates of the Lord and not merge in the spiritual existence as conceived by the impersonalists. The devotees, therefore, following their constitutional instincts, achieve the desired goal of becoming servitors, friends, fathers, mothers, or conjugal lovers of the Lord. The devotional service of the Lord involves 9 transcendental processes such as hearing and chanting, and by performing such easy and natural devotional service, the devotees achieve the highest perfectional results, far, far superior to merging into the existence of Brahman. The devotees are therefore never advised to indulge in speculating upon the nature of the Supreme or artificially meditating on the void. One should not, however, mistakenly think that after the annihilation of this present body, there is no body by which one can associate with the Lord face to face. The living entity is unborn. It is not that he is manifest with the creation of the material body. On the other hand, it is true that the material body develops only by the desire of the living entity. The evolution of the material body is due to the desires of the living being. According to the desires of the living being, the material body develops. So, from the spirit soul, the material body comes into existence, generated from the living force. Since the living being is eternal, he exists just like the air within the body. Air is within and without the body. Therefore, when the external covering, the material body is vanquished, the living spark, like the air within the body, continues to exist. And by the direction of the Lord, because he is the ultimate benefactor, the living entity is at once awarded the necessary spiritual body befitting his association with the Lord in the manner of sarupya, equal bodily features, salokya, equal facility to live on the same planet with the Lord, sarsti, equal possession of opulence like the Lord, and samipya, equal association with the Lord. The Lord is so kind that even if a devotee of the Lord cannot fulfill the complete course of devotional service, unalloyed and uncontaminated by material association, he is given another chance in the next life by being awarded a birth in the family of a devotee or rich man, so that without being engaged in the struggle of for material existence, the devotees can finish the remaining purification of his existence, and thus immediately after relinquishing the present body, go back home, back to Godhead. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. In this connection, detailed information is available in the Bhagavad Sandarbha of Srila Jiva Goswami Prabhupada. Once achieving the spiritual existence, the devotee is eternally situated there, as already discussed in the previous verse. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, wonderful. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hmm.
So, further, Ramaji is saying, the personality Godhead is the supreme master of everything auspicious because the result of whatever actions are performed by the living being in either the material or spiritual exist are awarded by the Lord. So, this is the point. Whatever material, spiritual, both is awarded by the Lord. Now, material is temporary, spiritual is permanent. The choice is with me. I have given a choice. What do you want? That's why one of our senior Prabhu is saying that people in today's they talk about balancing material life and spiritual, especially the devotees, practice devotees. They give a pravachan. No, you should balance spiritual life, material life. That Prabhu says there is no balance at all. It's only spiritual life. There is no material life at all. Sometimes we say, no, I need to, do this, I need to do this, I need to finance planning, I need to, yes, require. But consciousness should be to please Krishna. If that is the consciousness, everything else will be taken care. Instead of that, if I plan for my own finance, my own this, that, this, nothing I can achieve. I'll create more and more problem. We see it's happening in the society. Those who are engrossed in the material life, they get more problems. They get medical problems, hospitals, they run behind that. They never come out of it. But those who are surrendered to Krishna, they are problemless. That doesn't mean that they don't have problems, but they know. That's why His Holiness Radhana Swami says that pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. Everybody will go through the pain. But am I suffering with the pain? That's the difference. That is optional. That's up to me. That's why here it says that whether material or spiritual is everything Lord awarded by Lord. And as such, He is the ultimate benefactor. And whatever service I do, whatever austerity I do, whatever offering I do, whatever charity I do, it should be offered to Krishna. Because He is the benefactor. He is the ultimate enjoyer. Bhoktara Jatapasa Sarva Loka Maheshwara Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam Nyato Shantirachati. He says Bhoktara Sarva Loka Maheshwara. Everything belongs to Him. Everything offered to Him. And that every individual living entity is unborn. Though, like a Supreme Lord is unborn, Jiva is also unborn. Jiva is Aja. There's no death. Prabhupada, quoting from Bhagavad Gita here, 230, he says that we cannot kill. In 230, Krishna says, Dehi Nityavadyo Vadyoyam Dehe Sarvasya Bharata Tasma sarvani bhutani natvam sochitha varshihi. He says that the soul is living in this body cannot be killed. And so for what you are, lamenting, Krishna, when telling this sloka, is asking Arjuna, you are lamenting for your guru, your grandfather, your cousins, your uncles, but they are not the body. You are not killing the soul, you are killing the body. Body anyway going to destroy. What for you are lamenting? Similarly, I keep doing me and mine, mama mameti. Everything I surrender around my and mine, my enjoyment, my society, my family. It's all that is bodily connected. When I come out of that bodily conception, that's why Prabhupada, every lecture he says that you are not American, you are not Indian, you are a spirit soul. That is the difference we need to understand. So as long as a living entity is in a material existence, action performed by him is rewarded in next life or even the present life. Today we see in olden days, those who have done sin, they'll wait for the next life. Today we see in the same life they suffer. That's the Kali Yuga. It happens. Or those who do good, they get different liberations. Prabhupada explains those 5 kinds of liberation. But the duty of everyone, therefore, to worship devotedly only the Supreme Personality God, achieve the desired goal. What is the goal? Goal of our life is to Krishna Prema. Krishna Prema can be achieved by pure transcendental loving service. Otherwise, Krishna Prema is not possible. Pure transcendental loving service, unflinching, kind of contamination. Even little contamination will not be there. That is the goal. When I have that goal, because sometimes you may say that, no, I'm not pure. Yes, I may agree that, but that's my goal. I should keep that goal. That's why Prabhupada says, even those who are merging into become one with Krishna, no, those cannot be possible. Soul is soul. Paramatma is Paramatma. We cannot merge. So that's why the people are saying you are Narayana, you are God. That philosophy is not there. So the soul is always soul. Jivere Swarupere Nityara Krishna Das. Prabhupada says devotional service of the Lord involves 9 transcendental processes. So whatever Shravana, Kirtana, Smaranam, Pada Sevana, Sakyam, Atmani, Vedanam, up to a completely end. But we have to adopt at least one and try to perfect. The speculation upon the nature of the Supreme Person artificially meditating is not required. Artificial meditation not required, simply surrender to it. But all this depends on our desire. What is my desire? Krishna will fulfill all my desires. My desire is to just simply serve him. Like Mahaprabhu says, whether you hug me, whether you embrace me, or put me under your foot and crush me, I will be eternally your servant. Because in a bhakti, we may have difficulties, we may have some here and there problems, but whatever is that, my only goal is that to serve Krishna. So that is why I should be always focus on how to please him. If I do that, Prabhupada finally says, once achieving the spiritual existence, devotee eternally situated there, already discussed in the previous verse. He says, go back home, back to Godhead. So that will be our ultimate goal. Like Prabhupada also quoting from 4:11, he says that, Ye tama prapadyante tam satatayo bhajamiham mad varthaman vartante manusya partha sarvashaha. He says that who surrenders unto me, how much they surrender unto me, so much I reciprocate. It's up to me. We cannot blame anyone. I cannot blame my neighbors, my family, or my Siksha Guru. No, it's me. It's up to me how much I surrender. Krishna will reciprocate. So if I surrender fully, if I take up devotional service fully, I get full benefit. Otherwise, what I do, I get that. Okay, Hare Krishna. Stop here. Devotees want to share. Who want to start? Lakshmi Mataji, want to start?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Mataji.
We should engage our mind in Bhakti Yogam on Krishna. And when we take up Krishna consciousness, we can control our mind, we can meditate on Krishna, and everything comes naturally to us. If one is engaged in loving service of loving transcendental service, we can achieve the goal of life. Both material and spiritual existences are awarded by the Lord only. Every living entity is unborn, and after annihilation of the body, entity exists. The living entity exists, like the air in the body. Our actions are always rewarded by the Lord. So, pure transcendental loving services to God should be our goal. Our desires should be serving the Lord only. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Wonderful service opportunities coming up. Jagannath Rath Yatra is coming. Next 1 month, 1.5 months. Let's go out, all out. How to please Jagannath. Let's see. Mariappan Prabhu, want to share something? You are muted, Prabhu. You are unmute.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Text 48. What is realized as the absolute Brahman? Mind is difficult to be controlled, and Vishwamitra and Haridas Thakur are typical examples. When we take up devotion, everything, every blessing of the Lord are received as the byproduct. Supreme Lord takes complete care of the devotees. The Indra need not to dig a well for his requirement of water. No mental speculation is required after taking up Krishna consciousness. Loving transcendental service, devotional service is the ultimate in spiritual practice. Any given opportunity must be grabbed without any second thought for sure progress in spiritual practice. Only thing, we must have complete faith, and I'm having little doubt about this Bhajanandi
Bhajananandi and Goshtanandi.
and Goshanandi.
Bhajanandi means I will do my japa. I'm not bothered anybody. Why should I disturb others? Let me chant, let me read. That's Bhajanandi. Goshtanandi is that, yes, I will also chant, I'll make others also chant. I'll go out and make everybody chant.
Selfish and having this thing, generosity in spreading Krishna consciousness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And text 49, spiritual life, eternal, material life is temporary. Those who are engrossed in material life will go through all sorts of suffering and miseries. It's optional for anyone on the priority of material life or spiritual life. Even after death of the material body, spirit soul continue its journey either in next material body or spiritual body. In case of successful souls, will assume spiritual body and go back home, back to Godhead. It is depending on my surrender. I will be either considered for spiritual life or continuation in material life, and I will be given another opportunity to progress in spiritual life according to my progress in a suitable rich man's family or in a spiritual family. And I should have complete faith and surrender to Supreme Lord to achieve my goal. And depending upon my progress in spiritual practice, I will be considered for spiritual progress in spiritual world. That much I understood, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kanchana Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, my humble pranams.
Hare Krishna.
Text 2.7.48 states, true spiritual perfection is achieved through loving transcendental service to Supreme Lord Krishna. Mental control meditation are not necessary for perceiving the deeper reality. Transcendental state is experienced in chanting, doing Nagar Sankirtan, devotional service, having faith in Krishna. The King Indra of heavens, who controls the rain, finds the idea of digging a well for personal water supply silly. Devoted service provides insight to those gained through meditation, emphasizing that genuine devotion fosters spiritual fulfillment and peace. It promotes immediate result in spiritual practices. Text 2.7.49 states, Supreme Lord Krishna controls all actions of living beings in both material and spiritual realms, acting as the ultimate benefactor. Consciousness is Krishna. There is no material life, only spiritual life. Each living entity is eternal, exists beyond bodily destruction, as described in Bhagavad Gita 2.30. Actions in material life affect future lives. Spiritual actions receive a reward from Lord, including these 5 types of liberation stated in Bhagavad Gita 4.11. Salokya represent living on the same planet Vaikuntha. Samipya being the personal associate of the Lord. Sarupya having similar spiritual form. Sashti gaining equal wealth and power. And Saijya is merging into supreme existence, losing one's identity. It is often rejected by devotees. Lord offers devotees another chance to be born into either devotee's family or wealthy family for purification. It is given in Bhagavad Gita 6.41 and 6.42, and also Bhagavad Sandarbha by Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Jiva Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai. That is my understanding, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Pranams.
Krishna. Pranams. Sanatana Prem Prabhu, want to say anything?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, then the pranams. Yeah, I think devotees have covered most of the points. So, the main points are like Bhakti automatically fulfills what yoga and jnana aim for. That is already covered in Bhakti, so we don't have to do it separately. So, even the liberated souls desire to hear and chant. So, Bhakti is something that is beyond liberation. And we saw the example of King Indra, like how he doesn't have to dig a well. And the devotees have actually, the pure devotees have already achieved what others seek. And devotional service already contains the fruit of all other paths. So it is inclusive. It is not like we are missing anything. One who is surrendered to Krishna does not miss anything. He's got all the other paths fruit available to him as well. And the real perfection of life is therefore to be engaged in the transcendental and loving service of the Lord. And for the 49th verse, soul is eternal and it is never destroyed. The body develops from the soul's desire. And the soul continues after death, like here in the body. And Krishna is the supreme benefactor, and he's the awarder of all the results, whether it is material and whether it is spiritual. And then there are 4 kinds of liberation for the devotees. We've already discussed that. And devotees actually don't seek merging; they seek association. So they're they are like inclined to become associates of the Lord and not merge into the spiritual existence as conceived by the impersonalist. And that's why everyone should worship the personality of Godhead to achieve his desired goal. So impersonalists, instead of speculating or meditating, can directly execute the routine devotional service of the Lord and thus easily obtain the desired goal. And the Lord special mercy is for an incomplete devotee. If it is, he is given another chance in the next life by being awarded a birth in a family of a devotee or a rich man, so that without being engaged in the struggle of material existence, the devotee can finish the remaining purification, and after leaving his present body, he can go back home, back to God. And once anybody achieve the spiritual existence, it is eternal. That's all, bro. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Shri Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So when we are pure devotee of Lord, everything comes on its own by Krishna's mercy. But who are poor in transcendental realization they are mental speculators. They have to control senses, speculate on the mind, and meditate for controlling senses to know the Lord. So pure devotees who are in transcendental loving service of the Lord, they already know the true nature of the Lord without speculation. As long as the living entity is in material existence, whatever actions he does are rewarded in the next life or present life. Those who merge with the Supreme Lord becomes associates of the Lord after leaving the body as servitors, friends, parents, or conjugal lovers, etc. There are 9 devotional services which we perform to the Lord. Out of the 9, just by doing chanting and hearing of the Lord's activities, they are the easiest and the natural process. The devotees achieve the highest perfectional results. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Sudha Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Pranams. Thank you for the class.
Mataji.
So to go back to Godhead, we need to do chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and be in Krishna consciousness, because material world is temporary and it perishes. But having spiritual knowledge and having Krishna consciousness is the ultimate goal for each and everyone. And not only us, but we also have to spread this Krishna consciousness to everyone, because just chanting is not enough. We need to do a service as well. So the best service that we can do is spreading Krishna consciousness to everyone, um, and distributing books and prasadam. That is my takeaway, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Diya Mataji there? No.
She's in another room. She's saying during holidays I attended the class. Now school started, a lot of homework.
Busy.
She's doing a lot
Okay.
of written work and all that, Prabhuji.
Okay. Take care. I will stop here. Vacha kalpatarubhyasya. Kripa sindhu bevacha. Patitana pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo namo. Ananta koti Vaishnav vrinda ki jai. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Samaveta Bhakta vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna. See you tomorrow. Please
Thank you so much
to
for the
call.
class, Prabhuji.
Those who are not coming, please try to call, remind each one.